guys, Tyler Forrester for RunItOnce.com. Today we're going to be going over some situations where I bluff catch the river in 3-bet pots. They're filtered by size, so most of them should be big and interesting, and I filtered out all the strong hands, or at least hopefully all the strong hands, so there shouldn't be anything that's too, everything should be really interesting. Here, I've also slightly increased the frame today so we can go ahead and see the full stats of our opponents. I noticed in my last video they got cut off, so hopefully this is a nice adjustment. So picking up the action here, I've 3-bet 8-8 in the big blind and Oscar's called on the button. We can go ahead and learn some things about Oscar's play from his statistics here. So we see that he's opening up on the button about 40% of the time. This is a little bit low because it includes situations where it wasn't folded to him on the button. And then he's folding to 3-bet 62% of the time. So he's actually really tight in this spot. When someone's folding 60% of the time to a 3-bet in this situation, he's only going to be playing about 16% of hands, and he has a relatively high 4-bet at 3.6%. It's not unreasonable here to think that he may only be playing maybe the top 14% of hands, which is going to be a tight under the gun range generally. So we expect to have pocket pairs in this range, we expect to have suited connectors in the range, we expect to have ace-x suited in the range. We don't expect a lot of broadways. That's the easiest way to decrease your frequencies in these situations is to start folding broadways. So the fact that he's folding such a high percentage of 3-bets mean he's mainly folding out his broadways in these situations. And I also don't expect anything wacky like suited 2-gappers here. With the high 4-bet percentage, I expect him usually to get jacks plus in, which means really the hands I'm worried about here are 9s and 10s and 7s and 6s, of course. I think that with this hand on this board texture, it's better to bet here for protection, under the hope that he'll fold some of his overcards, or at least charge him for some of the overcards. When the board pairs here, I like to have a balanced range in this situation, because this isn't a great barrel card for me. A lot of my air is going to have to hold up and stop betting on the paired board, because the paired board heavily favors the in-position player in most of these situations. If the card was, say, above a 10 or a jack, barreling here more aggressively might be in order, and even value betting 8s here might be a stronger play because I'm not going to be checking really any of my hand range. Here on the 6, it's pretty clear that I need to check here periodically. Checking 8s here for balance makes some sense. When he goes ahead and bets here, this could represent a wide range of hands. It's not unreasonable to even value bet something as weak as a 2 here if I have low check raise frequencies, because he's not beat very often when he has a 2. And that keeps me from hero calling things like ace-king or ace-10 here, or at least makes them less profitable. So at this point in time, 8's well ahead of my perceived range, should be well ahead of his value betting range. Really easy call here. And then the 10 comes out, which necessarily isn't really a great card for me. Obviously, like 10-9, 10-8, 9-8 are all possible hands in his range. We need to spin back to preflop. And if we think about preflop, what we're going to realize is that we've talked about how he's really tight. He folds a lot to 3-bets. That means he doesn't have any of the offsuit varieties of like 10-9 offsuit, 10-8 offsuit, and the fact that I have an 8. I have the 8 of clubs and the 8 of spades actually markedly decreases his range here. So he really, if he value bets a 10 here for all in for value, calling 8s here becomes a little bit weaker, but I still block 10-8 suited. I still block 9-8 suited. All of those hands that made the nuts at this point in time now are a little bit weaker. I also block some of his 8 6x combos too, 8-6 suited. That was enough here, it felt like, to go ahead and call, and hope that he had something like 5-4 suited, 5-3 suited, maybe a backdoor flush draw, or even some sort of kind of random airball like ace-9 in this situation. So I do go ahead and call. Ultimately, this is a situation where I don't expect to make a lot of money. It's very clear that he has at least 7 to 10 combos of sets. He has 2 combos of 9-8, and then he has 6 to 8 combos of sixes. So he has 20 value betting combos here that I'm behind. And if he's playing a tightish game here and really only playing suited cards, the hands that I beat here are 5-4 suited, maybe some combos of 5-3 suited, so though he's tight enough, they're probably not all in this range. And then some over cards, things like Queen Jack of Diamonds, King Jack of Diamonds. So this is going to be pretty close to 0 EV. I think I can find 10 bluffing combos here for Oscar. But it's certainly but I'm certainly not going to see like 30 bluffing combos there from him.